We are no longer in a recession. And right through this decade, this government has been robbing from public education.
Susan Lambert, the president of the BC Teachers Federation, probably the most radical teachers union in the country, and that's saying something. If your teachers union's the most radical in a country filled with radical teachers unions, that's saying something. But they did walk out today, and some students went with them. Joining us now to talk about the insanity that is BC, Alise Mills. She's a communications consultant and former Liberal strategist with the provincial government there. Alise, was it pandemonium today? What were parents doing as the co-parents, as we call teachers here in Ontario, as the co-parents went on strike?
You know, I think that the parents had just enough time to scramble to find some childcare, but as most of us did, we took our children to work today because a lot of people in British Columbia, we have a problem. We don't have enough daycare spaces, number one, but you know, the average Joe is really schlepping out here. I mean, as you know, it's the most expensive province to live in, and I think people were just, there just wasn't an opportunity to find the daycare. I think parents
even if you had oodles of daycare, finding enough to fit all those school kids on one day, it would be impossible. So, well, I mean, they really are holding you ransom, aren't they?
Oh, they are. And let me tell you, guess what? Today, tomorrow, Wednesday, strike days. They may go Thursday, they may go Friday, but guess what's happening the following week and for the week after that? Spring break, as teachers will be paid for a nice holiday. So it's very frustrating to parents because it's looking like almost 3 weeks of a vacation or holiday for our kids. And what I'm most concerned about is that my child was denied, as every other BC child today, denied an education in this province over salary and benefits. Don't let anyone tell you that it's anything else, Brian.
Well, and I did take a look at the chart, and the BC Teachers Federation puts their salary grids online. They start at about $40,000 right about now and go up above 80. A teacher with about 8 years experience and a bachelor's degree plus their teacher's ed certificate will make $74,000 a year. The average working Canadian, $47,000. That doesn't sound ill-paid, considering they also get 2 months off.
Well, let me just go back a little bit further, because I think it's very important for your viewers to understand the position that us BC taxpayers are in. And I'm going to contradict Susan Lambert. Forgive me, but we are still in a recession out here. BC may not have felt the effects that you feel in Ontario, but it is a ripple effect, as you know, and we are really just hanging on not to be a province that becomes a have-not. We have to take very good care of what we have left, and to be honest with you, Brian, we don't have anything left. What they're asking for out here is additional 10 days bereavement pay. So what that is on top of their already extensive benefits, that's 10 days for them to take indiscriminatory or for any friend, relative that may have passed away or they need to take care of. That would be additional to what they already get. They're asking for an additional 15% in pay increases on top of the 15% that they got only 3-4 years ago. Plus, at that time, they received an almost $4,000 signing bonus. And it's just it's extensive. It's costing us about, what they're proposing is about a $2 billion package. We can't
at a
afford
time
that.
when BC, like all the other provinces, is still facing deficits, debt, and a tough economy.
Well, this is it, and I want to remind your viewers as well that we have negotiated net zero with every other public sector union. The BCTF, as you quite rightfully pointed out, is the most militant union in the country. They are far more of a political organization than they are about education. And I think it's a very dangerous territory that when the teachers are pushing an agenda, an education agenda, that really needs to be developed by the Ministry of Education. Now, I'm going to put this back on the government a little bit as well. It should have come a long time ago that there was an education reform package, and that's sort of what opened this up, because the current Education Minister, George Abbott, who I think is probably, and there's many of us in agreement, that is probably the best Minister of Education we've had in at least 20 years in this province, went out there very strongly and started talking about education reform and actually got into the Teachers College, which, as you know, Brian, is the nest of a lot of the problems. Yeah. So what he did was he reformed that, and that was the first shot off the bow. I think that's what really got the BCTF executive all riled up and their knickers in a knot. This sort of set this in motion, and then Minister Abbott steps out and says this is part of a reform package. They respond hearing education reform, or the minister says education reform. They respond with salary increases, benefit increases, and they're talking, you know, labor negotiations. We just want better education for our kids out here.
And what they want is money, control, power. Alise, thanks so much for joining us today, and best of luck with the rest of the week.
Thank you so much.